This is Hands by Aseta. Join me while I do my makeup today. So to start off, you want to know your skin type. I have a very normal skin, and today I'll be using two different skin prep to prep my skin. First, I'll be using a moisturizer from Blossom, and then I'll be using an hydrating primer from Nuban Beauty. So guys, join me. I already cleaned my face, so my face is all cleaned. I used Beauty by AD foam cleanser to cleanse my face, so my face is ready to be prepped. So let's get right. So the first thing you want to do now is to apply your moisturizer on your face, right? So let me tell you something. Every skin needs to be moisturized, be it dry skin, oily skin, or normal skin. You need to hydrate your face, and you'll be needing a moisturizer to do so. So I already put my Blossom moisturizer here, and I'm going to apply this on my face, on every part of my face.
After going in with my moisturizer, I apply this evenly on all parts of my face, and I allow that to dry down before applying my primer. And what I'm trying to do here is that I'm using my hands to gently apply that on my face. Next, I go in with my foundation. So when it comes to my particular kind of foundation, I find it very difficult to pick an exact shade. So what I do is that I blend colors to get my foundation shade. Then next, I go in with my blush and apply this on my face. Now if you take note, I'm using a brush to apply my blush. Why? Because the brush helped me place my blush at the right place. So I just go in and use my brush to apply that. Here I'm going in with a definer to contour my forehead, and I'm using a powder contour, not a cream contour, right? Then I go in to apply that same definer, a darker shade, 2 shades darker than my skin tone, below my chin, right below my cheekbone. Then I go in with my beauty blender to press that into my skin. So this beauty blender is actually a damped beauty blender, meaning it has actually been soaked in water and well squeezed, so it feels like it's wet. So I go in and apply my concealer. I don't like doing too much. There are several reasons why we apply concealer. I don't have dark circles. My eye shape is perfect. I like the way it is, so I don't really go in with much or do too much under my eyes. I just make it all simple and neat, because this particular look is a very simple look, nothing much. So I'm using the other side of my beauty blender to press that into my skin. Afterwards, I go in to set my concealer, right? So that is what you want to do next. You want to go in and set your concealer. So here I'm using my pressed powder and my beauty blender to set in my concealer in a place. So that is the next thing you have to do, so as to make sure your makeup doesn't break out, right? The concealer doesn't break out, so you go into set. I still went further to use that same beauty blender to damp my powder all over my face. Went in with more powder definer to bronze my face. Went in to contour my nose, and then I used my brush to apply my powder as a final touch. I went in with that same brush I used for blush to apply my powder blush. So if you look closely, you see how intensified the color is now. I went in to set my face, getting ready to apply my eyeshadow. So setting face, this particular part, I actually set my under eyes. Why? Because I wanted to catch out the fallout from my eyeshadow. Like I said, I don't want to do too much, so I go in to apply my eyeshadow on all parts of my eyes. At this point, I was just creating from my head. I didn't have a specific inspo that I wanted to create initially. I just picked out my eyeshadow palette and I started mixing colors. For me, I feel being a makeup artist, you should be able to think of new ideas and create beautiful ideas in your head, then bring it to life. This was exactly what I was doing. I was just playing with colors, flowing with colors, I had the picture in my head while creating this look. I'm like, okay, let's go for it. So I went in and brush and kept on stroking my brush, to get a very seamless eyeshadow look. So this is what you want to do. You want to get all the brushes you've been needing for your eyeshadow. I used about 3 brushes, right? I used one fluffy and a very flat brush rather. So this is just me blending this properly, blending with colors in order for the color to sit properly and for it to look seamlessly. So next I go in with another color. Like I said, I had no inspo in my head initially before I started this makeup look. I just wanted to create something beautiful. I got the picture while I started the look in my head, and then I created this. So, just try and do something beautiful, create something. If you make mistakes, correct yourself and try again. That is what makeup is all about. You cannot be 100% perfect, but steady, keep practicing, become good. I went in to dust out those fallout from my eyeshadow right now. I dust it out with a different brush. Mind you, I don't use the same brush I use to apply my powder. Went in with my setting spray, used my same beauty blender to push in that setting spray into my face. This is just how I do my makeup, nothing much, you know. So I went in to draw my brows, started off with my lips, you know. When it also come to the lips, I wanted to create a nude lip, but along the line I said no, let me try something different, and I went with a very what I say wine or red lipstick. So I just applied this and wore my lashes, my mascara, look in my makeup, and this is what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in my next one.